What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Training Podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, I'm joined by my boy, my best friend, my homie, the Wolf De Silva. What's up, bruh?
Yeah, that's probably the best intro you've given me so far, guys. So
Really?
like the best guest in the world is back. And we're talking about a very important subject. I'm amped up. Is it gonna be a good day today?
Bro, I'm offended. I feel like I give you a good intro every time.
I know that one was just better. I just felt it in my heart that time.
All right.
That one was like it felt good. It felt good.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. That was a good intro. Okay, so before we get into today's podcast, I want to read out a rating that I got from Jaximus878. He said, you're the light in the tunnel. Thanks, bro. I had an epiphany about where I could be in life. I know a bit about fitness and nutrition and recently decided to pick up the books and obtain these certifications. I then decided to cut out and not listen to anything that was not making me money. And so I needed to fill these holes with something that would motivate me to push harder. This podcast has been a blessing. I'm anxious to kill this journey and my goal by the end of the year and to gain these certifications to sign up with you and at least begin my journey to the 10K club. Let's go.
That's dope.
Jaximus.
That's a good review. I like
that was a good review. Jaximus, my boy, or I don't know if that's my boy or my girl, but I'm gonna say neutral and say Jaximus fam. I appreciate you. Thank you for the rating, bro, or girl, or fam. Damn it, I appreciate you. Okay, so guys, today on the podcast, I want to announce something special. So right now in the podcast ratings, I just checked, and we are in the top 50 business podcasts in Canada again. And we also cracked top 250 for all of business podcasts in all of the states. And that gets me lit. Okay, that gets me lit. It gets me so excited that I want to give away $1,000 to my podcast listeners. So I'm going to be doing another $1,000 cash prize giveaway, and I'm going to be giving away $1,000 cash on March 30th, 2021. So all you have to do right now is screenshot the podcast episode that you're currently listening to. Screenshot, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at bmarkfit, and let me know that you're tuning in. I'm giving away $1,000 cash on March 30th, 2021. Now, the catch is I only want you to share if you're getting value. Like, don't share just because you want to win money. Like, if you're getting value from the podcast and you actually like vibe with the message and you get value from listening to me, then I'd love if you could share because I'm going to give you $1,000 cash. If you screenshot it and you share it to your Instagram stories, I will be entering you to win $1,000 cash on March 30th, 2021. I've done, I think, 3 of these giveaways so far. And I literally just PayPal you $1,000 USD. Like there's no catch. It's just like, here you go. Here's $1,000. So March is right around the corner and I will send you $1,000. Okay. So guys, today we're going to be talking about setting Plan B on fire. You pumped, Cole, or what?
Yeah, I'm amped. This is a subject that me and Brian are pretty passionate about just because of the fact that we are the prime examples of what you do when you set Plan B on fire. Because again, like frankly, there's a lot of you guys that are half in and half out when it comes to achieving your goals, wanting to take the next step, wanting to really embrace what you feel like your true potential is. And that's why we want to talk about this today.
Guys, like you're listening to me and Cole right now because me and Cole are like purebred entrepreneurs. Like we started out where you are right now as online fitness coaches. 6 years ago, me and Cole were online fitness coaches. We started out where you are. Our business, like my business started out at $2,000 to $3,000 a month. I built my business to 10,000. I built it to 50. I brought on Cole, built his business from 0 to 10. So like you're listening to 2 people who have done what you want to do. Now, I see that there's a lot of you that are in the audience right now that are listening that, you want to make this online coaching business work. And you're like, yo, I want to live that life where I literally work from my laptop and, I go to bed when I want and I wake up when I want and I'm in control of my own schedule and like I'm in control of my own success and I'm making an impact on the world. Like that's the life you want. But you're also at the same time, you're like afraid that it's not going to work.
So many people.
Right. You're also at the same time being like, oh, I'm like I need to play it safe. Like, I really want that life, but like, I got to play it safe because you never know, like bad things could happen. And like, what you don't realize is that by planning for the worst case scenario, you're literally manifesting it.
100%. Way too many of you guys do this too. All right. So if you're listening to this right now and you've had thoughts of starting an online fitness coaching business and you haven't because of that worst case scenario, I want you to take a step back and stop thinking about the what if or playing the what if game. I literally hate that game. The what if game is the most toxic thing you could play with yourself. All right. Like it doesn't make any sense. You're thinking about scenarios that aren't even in the realm of possibility right now. And just like Brian's saying, you're manifesting them because you're putting so much energy into something that isn't even a thought in the world yet, but you're making it become a reality.
Dude, I love that. You're like, I love that you said putting energy into it, because like every single time you think about like a worst case scenario and you're like, oh man, like what if, you know, people aren't buying? What if I don't have enough leads on social media? What if I'm not going to be able to pay my rent? What if I have to quit this online coaching? What if? You're literally just like feeding that, like that reality inside of your head. And when you feed the reality inside of your head of this, like might not actually work, like, you know what's going to happen is you're going to lose the motivation to fucking work on your business, because in the back of your mind, you're like, what's the fucking point of working on this shit if it's not going to work anyways?
Yeah. Yo, let's look at it from another angle as well. Guys, we talk about how building a business and sales is a lot like dating too. All right. This is the same thing with your relationship. A lot of relationships fail because people are playing the what if game with their partner. Or what? I don't know if I trust them 100%. They're leaving. I don't know if I can trust them being on their phone. I don't know what they're doing when they're not with me. They play all these fucking mind games in their head. And then they reach a certain point where they stop putting effort into the relationship because of all these bullshit scenarios they've come up with.
I'm gonna jump in there. That's funny that you say that. It's so true. Also, the what if game can ruin your relationship when nothing's wrong, because you can, like, in your online business, nothing can be wrong, but you're playing the what if game. You're like, people probably don't have money. Like in your relationship, you can literally be like, oh, like maybe she's cheating on me every time she's on her phone. And then you start like bringing that up, like acting on that. And she's like, I'm fucking texting my mom, you psycho. And then, right. But it's the same thing with online coaching. Like online coaches will get on the phone with potential clients thinking that clients don't have the money. What if they don't have the money? And they treat the client like they're broke. And then the client acts like they're broke because you're treating them like they're broke. It's like, it's the same thing. Yeah. So Cole and I are going to talk to you guys about literally setting Plan B on fire. And setting Plan B on fire is like I'm talking, this is the level that I want to play at you guys. I want you to be like almost like delusional in your optimism for success.
Yep.
That's the fucking level that I want you to play at. All right. I want you to be so fucking delusionally optimistic about your chances of success that you go all in. And I want you to know that by setting Plan B on fire, you literally make it so that like Plan A has to fucking succeed. Yep. And I want to give you the awareness that the more that you hang on to, what if I fail, the more that you're literally like choosing to kill Plan A. And I want to notify you that your dreams, all of the things that you want to accomplish, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, quitting your fucking job that you don't like, getting out of in-person training, finally breaking through that plateau that you've been stuck at for 3 months. All of your dreams are on the other side of going all fucking in.
100%.
All in. Now, when I say going all in, I have a question. I have a question for y'all. All y'all that are listening to this podcast right now, I want you to take a moment, and we're going to take a moment. We're going to do a self-awareness exercise. All right. I'm going to ask you the question, and I want you to tell me whatever comes up for you instantly. I'm telling you this, I'm telling you the goodies. Okay. Are you currently all in for your business? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Okay.
I honestly wish we could see every single person who's listening to this podcast right now, their faces, because I could tell right off the eyes if you're actually all in on your business right now. Because me and Brian have been doing this for a long time, guys. A long time. Mm-hmm. We know right away. It's within it's within your stature. It's in how you're acting on a daily basis. It's in how you talk about your business. It's in how you think about your growth and where you think your goals are going to go. Mm-hmm. Are you all in on your business or not?
And I want to say something. If you're not 100% all in, you're all out.
Yup. There's no half playing this bullshit.
Nope.
It's not like, oh, I'll just put a couple hours in here and I'll be successful. I'll be a millionaire one day. Nope.
If you're not all in on your business, you're all out. You want to know why? Because there's a bunch of other people that want the same shit that you want.
Yep.
There's a bunch of other people that want the same thing that you do. Okay, so I got a funny story for you guys, okay? And this is going to sound a little bit egotistical, but that's okay because I believe in myself. There's a lot of business coaches on the market, right? And I'm sure that as an online coach, you guys probably get about 10 to 15 of them sliding into your DMs every single day. Am I right or am I wrong? Right? 100%. So for me, like I am fully aware that there's probably like 100 other online fitness business mentors that are in the space. Like I know that. And so for me, I understand that in order for me to stand out in the marketplace, I need to be doing more than all of them are fucking doing. All of them. Like I probably I am on more platforms than most of them are probably on in one day. Like I post more on TikTok per day than most of them post on Instagram per week. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the fucking level that I play at, because I know that there are other people that want the same thing that I want. And so if you're an online fitness coach right now and you want to be the expert that works with dads that are trying to lose weight, and that's your thing, but there's like 1,000 other people that are trying to do the same thing that you want. So what do you do when 1,000 other people want the fucking same thing that you want? You can either be one of the people that kind of blends in with the rest of the crowd and, you know, you post once in a while and you make an impact once in a while, or you fucking step up and you're just like, you just take it. You just claim it. You're like, I'm the fucking one that people go to. And so when I'm taking action, you guys, on any of my goals, like I'm never, ever trying to just come in and fucking hope that I get a client. And I feel like that's what a lot of y'all are doing.
100%, because you guys are viewing it the wrong way. You guys need to realize that everything is a competition in life. And if you don't think it is, you're failing and you're losing right off the bat. Number one. All right. And business is the biggest competition, because like when you look at sports, right, it's usually 40 minutes here, 50 minutes here. Okay. There's a certain time limit on the games. They've got breaks in between, etc. Business is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I literally heard that in a motivational speak yesterday, and it slapped me in the face, because it's true. If you want to be a successful business owner, you got to be grinding all the fucking time, no matter what, period.
And like, I want to talk about something for a second, okay? Because like when Cole says grinding all the time, one of the things that you guys might be thinking is like, oh shit, like, does that mean I get like no time off? No, it doesn't mean you get no time off. But what it means is that your schedule is structured for your optimal success.
Yep.
It's like, there's not like periods and time in your day where you're just like, I don't feel like posting on social media anymore. So I'm not, guys, full transparency. So before I got into this podcast, this is a little bit of a side ramble, by the way. And me and Cole usually do this when we get into discussion.
100%.
But before I got on this podcast, I felt like I got hit by a train. Like, no joke. Like me and Cole spent the entire weekend sifting through 75 mastermind applications while also running our business of 750 clients, while still taking care of our current mastermind students, while running Iron Energy Gym. And it's like, I felt like I got hit by a fucking train right before this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to show up for myself, because I'm all fucking in.
100%.
All in.
You don't get to take, guys, you're allowed to have time for yourself and you want to be a business owner, etc. But you need to be 100% in all the fucking time. It's like the same thing, guys. Literally the same thing this week. I woke up and I thought I had COVID times 17 other colds at the same time. I had no idea what was happening. My head was hurting the most it's ever hurt in my life. I felt like absolute shit. I was super groggy. I didn't know what was going on. But guess what? I still had 3 calls I needed to show up to that day. I still had to go to 2 meetings that day. I still had to show the fuck up, because I'm choosing to be a business owner. I'm choosing to act like a fucking CEO, and I want to have the best business in the fucking world as a business coach. So I got to show up no matter what.
And this is what pisses me off. Okay. It pisses me off. It upsets me. If you are an online coach right now and you've got a business and you want to get to $10,000 a month, right? That's a fucking commitment. You're like, if you're saying I'm worth $10,000 a month, that's me. I'm a 10K coach. Then your business is like, that, like, you need to show the fuck up for it every single day, just like you'd have to show up if you were getting paid a salary job.
Yeah.
Because if you were getting paid a salary job and you just one day were like, man, shit, I'm just not feeling like going into work today. Fuck that, right? Like, if you did that, like, you wouldn't get paid, you'd get fired. But there's so many online coaches that are half in, half out on their business because they're not feeling good.
Because they got the chip right here. You
I
guys
don't
become
feel like it.
business owners and you think that you're worth something you're not.
Well, it's entitlement for sure. And
right there.
Well, this is why, because like as an entrepreneur, like as an online coach, you could literally make $750 on like a 30-minute phone call.
Yep.
like some of you guys can make 1,000. Some of you guys are charging $1,500 for a 30-minute phone call. So it's fucking easy sometimes to justify you sleeping in or not showing up to coaching calls or not asking for help or not posting in the group or not reaching out to a mentor. It's really fucking easy to justify those things because it's like, you know, I made $1,000 today.
And no one's going to yell at you because you're your
boss.
boss.
And no one's going to yell at you.
Yeah.
Yes. No one's going to yell at you. But guess what? B-Mark's fucking watching. Okay? I see you. I see you. Okay, guys, I want to tell you a story. So I've got a tattoo on my arm. If you're watching the podcast right now, you can see. But if you're not, then I'll tell you about it. So the first mentor I ever hired, some of you guys might know this name. His name was Scott Olford.
I remember this.
Now, Scott Olford, I kept seeing this dude's ads. He's like all over my fucking Instagram and Facebook. Kept seeing his ads, kept seeing his ass. Ass, not ads. Damn it. You guys
same
are
thing.
going to say
it's the same thing. Whatever.
Ass, ads, potato. So kept seeing his ads. And finally, I like got the courage to like reach out to him and ask him for help. Which, by the way, it wasn't Scott. It was one of his sales reps. And he jumps on the phone with me and he's like, we're talking about my business. I'm getting super excited. And he's telling me about all these changes that he can help me make. And then he drops the price. It's like, yeah, so if you want to work with me and my team, it's $15,000. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I remember this.
I've never heard like that amount of money in my fucking life. I was like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, it's $15,000 to work with me. I was like, holy fuck. Like, and guys, like at the time, like I was making pretty good money. I was making like good money, but my expenses were also pretty high and like they were super high. And so like, I didn't have a lot of like cash on hand, right? Didn't have a lot of cash on hand. So I had $15,000 and like I had cash on hand, but a lot of the money that was in my account was set to go out to certain people. And so I had $15,000 that I had to pay. I had about $20,000 cash on hand, but out of the $20K cash on hand that I had, there was like 12 of it that was supposed to go out to other people, like in 30 days. So yeah. I had like all this money and I was like, okay, I could pay him $15K, but then I'm like down $7K. And if I don't make that $7K back, like I'm like legit fucked. Like I'm going to look like a big old douche nozzle. So I was like, okay. I remember I called Cole. I'm like, bro, I know that I feel like we need this, but like, I don't know if this is,
I legit remembered like this entire situation, sitting in the boardroom, breaking it all down, Brian having the panic attack. Guys, I know exactly what, like, this is bringing back memories right now. Keep going.
I was like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know if we should do this, but I'm like, I feel like it's a good move. I don't know. So I sat with it for literally like, it was like a day. And then I fucking called Scott's dude back. What was his name? Do you remember his name?
I don't know. I'm pretty
Brad.
sure
I called Brad back. It was Brad.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It was Brad. I called Brad back, and I was like, I'm doing it. I was like, let's fucking do it. He's like, yeah, really? I was like, yep. I'm like, send me the invoice. I'm fucking paying right now. So I paid. I gave him all the money, pretty much all the money that was in my bank. I was like, here you go. And like, when I said I was spending money that I didn't have, I literally fucking meant that like this money did not belong to me. Like this belonged to somebody else, and I was spending it. And it was due by a certain date. And so, you know what I fucking did? I was like, that day, there's a story that you guys might know, and it's about Spanish. I'm actually not going to get too deep into it because Caleb Zisk is a coach in my 10K coaching academy, and I'm stealing his lesson. So anyways, I got this tattoo of this boat on fire, okay, to represent the fact that like I cut off all other options. And when I got this, like this tattoo basically represented that like I was gonna fucking succeed or I was gonna die. Like that was the option. And so I got to work. And like when I said I worked on my business, you guys, like I don't mean that I hired the mentor and that's it. I spent 14 hours. This isn't a fucking exaggeration. I spent 14 hours a day working on my business for the next 30 days, every day.
Yep.
Because he sent me a course. And there was a lot of work in the course. So I opened up the course and I would study and I would learn and then I would sit down and I would implement. And then I'd study and I'd learn and I'd sit down and I'd implement. And I'd study and I'd learn, I'd sit down and I'd implement. And it was like over and over and over again. And it wasn't really a lot, like the $15,000 course wasn't really a lot of one-on-one contact with the mentors. It was like, here's the course, study it and do it. If you have questions, reach out. Like that was like the $15,000. I was like, cool. Like,
yeah.
And like, of course, like, I kind of felt like I don't get to talk to the mentor. Like I kind of felt gypped, but I also knew I'm like the values in the course. So I need to sit there and I need to fucking find it. So I just sat there at my computer for 14 hours a day for 30 days because if I didn't make this money back, I was screwed. I didn't stop watching videos. Like I knew what was possible. And so I went all in, like all in. And I studied my ass off and I committed every single ounce of my energy to this mission. And then when I get tired, I would take a 30-minute break and I would go back to work and I'd sit down and I'd study and I'd implement and I'd study and I'd implement. And like, guys, in the first 30 days, I made $5,000. 15 days later, I made another $5,000. And boom, I was back. And now, not only did I have the knowledge, I paid the people back that I didn't even have to pay them back because I made the money on time. So I paid the people that I was supposed to pay on time. And now I had the knowledge because I went all fucking in. And then, so I got a boat on fire to like signify the move that I made. And then I had a phoenix. I got a phoenix emerging from the boat to represent a phoenix emerging from the ashes of my flames. And that's my point.
A lot of people might not understand the in-depth of how phoenixes are actually born, guys, but that's a dope-ass tattoo because phoenixes are actually born from the fire when they fucking die and shit like that. So I loved it. That was fucking dope. Now, first off, I kind of want to break down everything that I went through in order to get to where I was today. There's a lot that goes into this, guys, but I kind of want to tell you the same sort of burning the boat / fuck plan B / what I needed to do in order to become the person that I'm sitting in front of you today. There's a lot that goes into this, but I'm going to try to summarize as much as I can. I spoke up with this a couple times. All right, I broke it down. I was actually corrected on one of my trainings the other day from one of our clients because I said it wrong, and they're like, I've heard you say this before, so you got to say it right. So I'm going to make sure that I do that now. But I want to talk to you guys basically about how I got into this game in the first place. All right. When I first met Brian, I was an iron worker making around $5,000 a month. All right. And while I was an iron worker, I was spending all of my money on drugs and alcohol. Now, when I say that, a lot of people, when they hear those types of things, they're like, oh yeah, all your money. No, you guys don't get it. I was negative $1,000 into my bank account at all fucking times. I literally called my bank and said, I need $1,000 overdraft, give it to me. And they give it to me today. And that's how my bank account was. I would get paid and I would be negative $1,000 in the hole, period. All times, no matter what, because every single dime that I had would go to drugs and alcohol and whatever else I needed to pay for bills. It was legit it. That's how my life fucking worked on a daily basis, no matter what. So my account looked like negative $1,000 all the time. But I reached a point where I wanted to change. I wanted to take something to the next level. I wanted to become a better version of myself because I got sick of everybody looking at me like the addict, like the druggie, like the person you don't want to be seen as, right? So I started to hire all these fitness apps. I started to do a bunch of $20 programs. I started to do other things so I could start focusing on my health and less on the drugs, all right? I didn't want to be that person anymore, so I just committed to it. All right, I was like, that's it. I'm going cold turkey. I'm going into my fitness journey. While I was going through all these apps, etc., I made a switch and I got into contact with Brian through a mutual friend. Now, this is when Brian was a fitness coach, guys. All right. When I was on the phone with Brian, again, I had no intention of buying. Okay, let's just keep it fucking 100% right here. I was legit just talking up my ass, talking to somebody because I heard that they could help. But while I was on the phone, Brian literally just heard my tonality.
Sold the ass.
Went through the same thing he went through in the past. And yeah, straight up, just fucking sold my ass. Basically told me exactly what I needed to hear by saying, not only could he help me get out of where I was, but he could help me break the habits that I didn't want to have in my life anymore. All right. He was going to help me break the habits, break the drugs, break the alcohol, get into the states I wanted to be in. Problem was he was charging $350 a month for fucking competition coaching back then, which I didn't even want to fucking pay in the first place. But he's like, no, you're going to become a competitor. I'm not training you as a lifestyle person. You're either a competitor. I'm not coaching you. So I'm like, okay, sounds fucking good. I got to go into it. That's it. Right. So no other option, had to go all in. All right. So I didn't have the fucking money at all, but something clicked when I was talking to him. And even though, again, I had negative $1,000 in my account, I just sent the money. My overdraft went again. I got double charged by the fucking bank and I just figured it out because I wanted to fucking change. I didn't care because I needed to fucking do this. There's no other aspect, all right? There was nothing else that could have stopped me. So I started selling everything. All right, we talk about this as like the Xbox story. A lot of you guys have heard this before. I'm talking about everything I could get my hands on was getting sold. I was selling my Xbox, I was selling my games, and then again, clients corrected me. I was selling my brother's games. He'll also correct me if he listens to this. Literally anything I could get my hands on was getting fucking pawned, was getting sold on Marketplace. I was hustling a little bit to get my fucking money so I could make sure that I could do this. Anything I could get my hands on, okay? It wasn't the ideal situation, but because I did that, all right, I'll become the person that is now sitting in front of you guys. All right, again, it started with a fitness competition. Then I wanted to become a coach. And Brian told me I needed to win one more fitness competition to get my certification. So I was working my ass off, like 10-hour days, then 2 hours in the gym boxing, then 2 hours a day in the gym working for my fitness competition, then an hour and a half fucking studying for my exams. All right, getting like 4 hours of sleep at night for 6 months fucking straight. Started with a fitness competition, then became a trainer under Brian, then became Brian's business partner, and we grew Aesthetic Nation to $50,000 plus a month. Then I was in the room, guys, when PT Domination started. I literally remember everything Brian just talked about. It's fucking bringing back crazy memories because I remember that conversation with Brad. I remember that breakdown, literally panic attacks like, yo, I don't think PT Dom or Aesthetic Nation has that money to start investing in fucking this new course, but yo, it's got to happen. If I didn't go all in and do whatever the fuck it took, I would not be sitting with you today. And I honestly don't know how my life would look right now. I have no idea if this all would even be a fucking thing, because a lot of this stuff originated from me becoming B's business partner and then a bunch of things growing from there. But it's all because I threw out every single plan that I had for my life because I knew I wanted to change. I had an idea. I knew that was the path I wanted to go down. That was the better path in my mind. So every other plan B, guys, I was about to become a journeyman ironworker. I put 4.5 years of work into that shit. And legit, with a flip of a coin, quit. I'm out. I'm going to become a fitness coach. I'm fucking done. Oh, wait, you only have one online client? Yep, I only have one client. I'm quitting. Done. And then in a month, I had 25 fucking clients and I was running my shit. And then within 6 months, I was able to retire Julia from her fucking job at the same construction company that I was in. And now she works at home with me.
By the way, she's also an online coach now. She works with Kirst.
Yeah. Within 2 years now, fucking, you guys have seen the shit we've done. Gym. All right. House. We've got the cars we want. Like, and it's all about fuck plan B. Go all in on the shit you want to achieve.
Yeah! Tom! Mic drop. I'm dropping my phone. Just dropped my fucking phone. Bro, nostalgia. When you were talking about building Aesthetic Nation, I'm like, damn. I'm like,
it's crazy,
that
eh?
brings back some
legit beginning.
Okay, so I want to say a couple things about this, okay? Now, if you're listening to the podcast right now and you're like, damn, this is super inspiring. It's not just about, selling your Xbox and paying for the course, because I think that some of you guys understand that part, right? Some of you guys can get to that part. The part that you miss is the 14-hour work days that go in after it.
And stop. I'm going to interrupt you here because like this needs to be like very specific. Guys, when we say 14-hour work days, we mean 14 fucking hours of work. Not let's sit down in front of the computer and fuck around for 6 of those hours, or not be 100% intentional for 6 of those hours. I'm talking about like, yo, you call us during that time. We were in the coffee shop for 9 hours straight and you did not get a hold of us. We're grinding on our computers, building what the fuck we wanted to build. There's no like in and out here, joking around on a daily basis, not actually paying attention to the things that we need to be doing. When Brian says 14 hours, he means actually 14 hours, because a lot of people, I think that goes over your head when he says those numbers. All right, go ahead. I got to drill that home because people.
Dude, I just think that it's funny. Like in the 10K Coaching Academy, we have 9 calls per week. 9. We give you 9 opportunities to tune in to a coach that spits some value. And then like, I know that there's some of you guys that are in the 10K Coaching Academy that like want to grow successful on their business and you want to get to 10K. And I'm going to give you the secret to success. Implement everything we say.
Say it one more time.
Implement everything we say. Because every single coach that we bring on to PT Domination is over $10,000 a month. Every single one. we don't have coaches that aren't over 10K. So like if Caleb's telling you to do something, it's because Caleb's over $10,000 a month. He's a very smart man. Jeff's telling you to do something. Jeff's over $10,000 a month. He's a very smart man. Corey's telling you to do something. Corey's over $10,000 a month. He's a very smart man.
You see the theme here?
Right? So like, guys, it's like, you gotta fucking go all in. And if me and Cole would have had a plan B, like if I would have been like, oh shit, like, you know, like if this mentor doesn't work, like maybe, Cole, let's just pay the mentor. And like, maybe let's like, you know, if it doesn't work out, then we'll just go back to Aesthetic Nation. We wouldn't be here having this conversation with you guys, and we wouldn't have helped 102 students break 10K a month.
Nope.
And the amount of impact that we get to have on trainers' lives right now is like fucking like legendary. Like I like love what I do. Like I love coming on the podcast. I love doing pod chats. I love showing up for my clients because I know that like if I can impact Joshua Ayers and I can help him change his life and I can help him acquire more clients, I know that he's going to go serve 20, 40, 60, 100 clients in 2021. And I get to be a part of that impact because I showed up and I helped him.
Yeah.
That's like legendary level impact. And like, you can do the same fucking thing. When we worked for Aesthetic Nation, you guys, we had over 1,000 clients that worked with us in the 4-year time span that we worked there.
Yep.
1,000. We impacted 1,000 lives positively.
We were the fucking powerhouse, whether you liked us or not.
All of our clients loved us. And if you weren't our client and you were looking in from the outside, you were just like, fucking how? And some people didn't like it.
Yeah.
We were always in the conversation.
Yep.
Always in the conversation. So guys, plan B, like the more you think about plan B, the more you're shooting plan A in the foot. And I'm also going to hedge this conversation because there's some of you that are listening to this podcast right now, and I don't want you to take this advice and then be like, yo, Brian, you screwed me over. Screw you. I'm going to hedge this conversation because some of you guys might not be ready to set plan A on, or set plan B on fire, right? And so if you're the type of person who crumbles under pressure, if you crumble under pressure, listen up. You might need to wait a little bit before you set plan B on fire. But at some fucking point, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to set plan B on fire. And guys, it's even after, like, I'm going to take this to the next level. So PT Domination and Aesthetic Nation were both my two businesses, mine and Cole's businesses. Once PT Dom started to really grow, it was like, was it 2019 that I folded Aesthetic Nation? Cool.
I think so. I think it was.
Yeah.
Aesthetic Nation was only like running for a couple months afterwards, but it was like actually,
March 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I folded it. So March 2019, you guys, plan B and plan A. Aesthetic Nation and PT Domination were both stalled because I didn't have the energy for both. Like, and like, this is me as a new business owner too. Like, I'm like, I don't fucking know how to run two businesses. Like, I'm more passionate about PT Dom than I am about Aesthetic Nation, but I currently have 7 trainers that work at Aesthetic Nation. I'm like, PT Dom's plan A. So I just set plan B on fire. I literally folded a business that was worth $35,000 a month at the time. Folded it. Told all the trainers, I'm like, take all your clients. I'm like, I'm no longer your leader. I'm like, I'm out. And so I literally just set plan B on fire. And I had a meeting with every single trainer. And I was like, guys, I don't really know how to say this, so I'm going to say this directly. I'm no longer passionate about this business, and I want to focus on PT Domination. So I love you guys, but this is the end of Aesthetic Nation. And everyone was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're now your own bosses. See, that's it. That was the end. And like, because I set plan B on fire, like, look where plan A is now. Like PT Domination, we're the #1 business coaching company for online trainers.
Period.
There's
no fucking discussion here. Like, this is just how it is. All right. It's truth.
But you need to set plan B on fire. And by the way, you guys, I have no intention of leaving fucking business coaching ever. By the way, like my next goal, just so you guys are aware of my goals. I saw a comment come in. Just so you guys are aware of my goals. My goal is to get to 1,000 podcast episodes, and 1,000 podcast episodes will take me 3 years. So FYI, like, that's my next goal. So like, you got B Mark for a very long time. Like, that's the next goal. I want to be on Tim Ferriss's level. So that's like, I'm here for a long time. But guys, plan fucking A. Plan fucking A. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to cut off plan B. If you want to be living the life that you want, $10,000 a month, impacting people's lives, changing people's lives on a daily basis, then you need to commit to plan A with every single ounce of your soul if you want to create a life like me and Cole have.
Let that sink in. All right. Like if you actually want to be successful, you guys need to listen to these words again. All right. Like listen to what we just said. Because I feel like a lot of people, they'll like join into a podcast, they'll listen to a motivational speech, or they'll tune into B's podcast. You guys will listen to us talk about these things, and you'll let it go over your head. You'll be like, yo, that's awesome. And then as soon as you're done watching the podcast, you go right back to what you were doing before. Right back to slacking off, right back to not implementing like you should, right back to not committing to the fucking day. If you want to be successful, if you want to be the best fitness coaching business out there, you need to commit 100%. If there's any part of you that's not 100% committed, you're not going to be successful, period.
Boom.
Like you might see some success, but you're not going to be the best.
I'm going to end this conversation with this. I feel like when I told the Aesthetic Nation story, there was a little bit of fear. They're like, is he going to leave PT Dom? No, I'm not. So like back then I was a very inexperienced business owner. And I've been running businesses now for 7 years. So I'm a lot more wise with my time. So back then I didn't know how to hire a team and train a team. So guys, I'm not going to leave you. I'm just going to put that out there. Cause I'm like, I feel like when I told that story, some people are like, oh fuck, he's going to leave us. I'm not leaving you. Just gonna throw that out there. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to win $1,000 cash, all you got to do is screenshot this podcast episode, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit. Let me know that you're tuning in, and I'm entering you to win $1,000. And there's no catch. I'm literally going to send somebody $1,000 on March 30th. Doot. So if you want to win $1,000, screenshot this podcast episode, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit. Let me know that you're tuning in. Cole, where do they find you, bruh?
On TikTok and Instagram at Cole Lewis to Silva in the Wake Up with the Wolf podcast.
Peace, love, protein. We'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Let's go.